Well, welcome to the webinar, but this is not webinar jam, and so nobody is here. I don't know what to do about this. So this is unbelievable, really. Really don't know what to do here. And I really don't know what to do with this. This is bullshit. Well, I don't know what to do. So I am going to try to send. Oh, you're on there, Homer? Homer, are you on here? Where are you sending your chat from? I just wonder where's Homer coming from. I'm very confused. If you're seeing me, I'm very confused. Looks like he's gone now. This is ridiculous. No, you can't see me in my YouTube channel. Why? That's not even working. This is really not good. Can you see me on one window? How? Where are you? What link are you on? I can't see you. Can anybody else see me? I have 2 viewers, it says. And I can't see you guys. I'm actually on Google Plus, and I wish you could join me there because there's a chat. And now I only have 1 viewer. So I don't know if these are random viewers. Oh, here we go. Okay, I think I got it figured out. All right, I think I'm here. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Okay, Christy's here. So now Paulette's here. This is ridiculous. They changed something with Webinar Jam, and I really had no idea how to get on here. And now I am seeing, I can see you on Google Live. Okay, but you can go to the, that's where I was, and I don't know how that's happening, but you can, so Paulette, you're actually on Webinar Jam, I think. If you go to the link, I see you here, but if you go to the link and go that way, you'll be in the regular chat room. Cancel. I'm sorry, figuring all of this out. Now I see Brenda and Paulette. I don't know what happened to. Okay, Paulette, I see you here chatting. Brenda, I see you chatting. So I don't know what's wrong with this stupid software. I swear. It's for something that I pay for. It sure isn't very good. And Homer says I'm here, but on somewhere. Homer's on Google Plus. Homer, go to Webinar Jam, which is the link that you registered with. Because I guess I'm in both places now. And that's weird. And I'm supposed to actually be, I don't know where I'm supposed to be honest. I don't know where I'm supposed to be, but at least a few of you are here. Okay, I see Christy's here, Brenda's here, and Paulette's here. And hopefully other people will log in soon and not give up, because some people give up too easily. And let me just tell you, don't give up on the webinars. If I'm running late, it's not because usually I'm late, it's because something's up with the very nice software. So I'm just checking my email to see if anybody's saying anything there. And Paulette's popping up on other places. And Homer shared. This is all very interesting. So Homer's like chatting somewhere else. Okay, Homer, go to the Webinar Jam link now, and you will get in. I don't know. This is getting way too confusing because there's things coming from all different places. Okay. So let's see. Oh, okay. Here's Homer. All right. Let's see who's here. Paulette, Brenda, Christy, and Homer. Well, that's enough to get this party started. I don't know what's up with Webinar Jam. They changed something again. And so that's that. What can I do? I really can't do anything. Let's see. Liz is here. Good. All right. Well, whatever happened, I guess it's working its way out. And hopefully you guys can see me and hear me okay. Welcome to Soul Authenticity Acceleration Transformation number 44. There's supposed to be a clapping thingy here, but I don't see it. And at this point, I don't want to mess with anything. So welcome. As you see, I have no pyramids behind me. I have no palaces behind me. I just have my office behind me. So I'm back home, obviously, and landing more a little bit every day. That was an amazing month in Egypt. And if you've ever been there, you know it takes a while to come back. Not only that, my workload, my clients, all the stuff I need to catch up on. I have a whole bunch of wands for people that I carried around with me through Egypt. I can't believe I did that now. I'm like, oh my gosh. That I still need to get to people. I just have a lot going on. And actually the last 2 or 3 days has been focusing on the Hawaii journey. Trying to get that all organized because it's coming up in a few months. And I just successfully landed us this amazing retreat house, luxury retreat house. And I found out that February is like the busiest time in Hawaii. I really didn't know that. As much as I've been to Hawaii, I can't even count the times I've been in Hawaii. I've been so many times. I didn't know that February was so darn popular. I've always gone in March, April, and October. And so if we would have waited till March, we would have had a lot more options. And I don't see what the big deal about February is, to be honest. But I know the angels were already knowing we were coming because somehow, some way, this place wasn't booked. And so many places were booked, especially for the group size that we have. We actually pretty much sold out our journey. Might be able to fit a couple people, maybe. I don't really want to cram the house up, but I opened up a second journey to happen a few days after the first one ends. If more people want to come, we're just going to do a second journey. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. I don't want the groups to be so huge that we're not, I don't know, especially in Hawaii, the locals are pretty weird about big groups. They think it's tour companies coming in, and they don't like that, and they get really belligerent, and they have no problem saying how they feel. And so I like to, not be so, I don't know, tourist looking huge group thing. Plus, with our ceremonies and stuff, it's just nicer to have it a little bit smaller. So definitely this retreat's not about making money. It's definitely about transformation and getting the work done, because pretty much everything that we're making on this retreat, we're using just to have the retreat. And so that's also very interesting. And it must be for a very good reason. That's all I can say. And of course, you know, whenever things happen like that, like, I mean, that's just different. And so I know that there's going to be a huge purpose and reason for this. So that's pretty cool. And so, yeah, that's what I've been working on. And then I got to move on to Peru. So busy. Tonight, the thing that's been coming up to discuss with everybody is a couple of things, but the main, I guess the main point would be, how should I put it? Being brave enough to follow your heart. And so, you know, when you really are listening to your heart, and you usually are hearing your heart, you know what you want in life, you know what you want to do, how you want to feel, you know in your heart what will set you free. And sometimes you might not know. Sometimes people go, I don't know. And you know what? That's also a decision, is to be in that space of, I don't know what I want. I don't know. That's a decision too. Come on. If you don't know what you want, then how do you want to feel? You always know how you want to feel. So that's actually the best place to go to, is to feel into how you want to feel and not make these excuses or these put off, just detractions from actually taking care of things and doing what you need to do to get what you really want. And if you're on this webinar, I know that you want to get what you want. I know that. And all of us would say, oh, I'm ready for what I want. I want to go for what I want. And then you say, well, so, okay, you might be having some wins in your life as far as manifestations that are coming in. But what about the big ones? What about really following your heart? And most of the time, when you really want to make you want a big change in your life, or you want something to come into your life that you've never had, so that would mean a big change would have to happen in your life, right? Because if you've never had it, that means that you have to change something big in order to get it. Because if you keep doing what you're doing, you're not going to necessarily get it. Otherwise, you would have had it by now. So this is, I mean, I know that's not rocket science. I'm sure you guys already know that. But sometimes I think we just really forget that, because we don't make the changes we need to make in order to make these things happen. Before I go further on that, I want to just expand a little bit more and say, stop resisting the things that are trying to happen to you, with you, for you. The things that are trying to happen for you, with you, to you, okay? This is happening to me, or this is, how about it's happening for you? It's happening with you. And so many times things start happening that people try to resist and fight against, instead of just saying, you know what? This doesn't appear to be what I really want right now, or what I like right now. But if it's happening, it's for a good reason. And maybe it's this thing that needs to happen in order for this manifestation that I've been asking for to come in. But many times when things are happening and we think we don't want it, it doesn't appear to look good or feel good or be good, we start fighting against it and saying, no, it's not going to be this way. No. And you're not remembering the bigger picture that says, in order to get this bigger picture to come into view, you have to let these other things shift in, shift out, shift crazy, shift in ways that you didn't think you wanted. So remember that. Don't get so bogged down in the moment in those situations and start fighting up against things, because you might be fighting against yourself for what you really want. Everything, every single thing happens for a good reason, and it happens for a reason. Regardless if it feels good or not, it's happening for a reason. And I would say what I'm hearing is at least half the time to 3/4 of the time, we push away what we are asking for by resisting the changes that need to happen to get where we want to be. So whenever, this is like a little clue, whenever something comes up for you that you don't want or you think is bad, or you try to fight or resist something, you need to catch yourself and say, I am being resistant, or I am fighting against this. How can I best go with the flow right now? How can I best accept or open myself more? Because when you're resistant fighting, you're closing yourself off. And remember, especially all of you that are manifesting breakthroughs, which almost everybody that is attending right now is a member of that, I always tell you that your energy has to be open in order to receive. And I've told you on these webinars that, you know, sometimes our energy is open this much and that much can come through. But if we start expanding our energy more and more, that gives much more room for more to come in. And Mr. Ramin, would you like to join us on the link for Webinar Jam? Because I just saw your comment and you're on Google+, which is cool. You can watch us from there if you need to. But if you want to chat so everybody can see, that would be the place. And let me go. I'm sorry, I'm reading through the chat because I was on the attendee list and I missed all of this. Okay, I'm on Webinar Jam now. Okay, there's 6 of us. You have an Egyptian glow. I'm excited about Hawaii. I have my vest, flippers, and snorkel gear ready. I gotta find mine. It's in my garage somewhere. Okay, so when we resist these things, when you catch yourself fighting, when you catch yourself resisting, when you catch yourself saying, I don't like this, or this is wrong, or this is BS, or this person is doing that, or this situation isn't fair, or whatever it is, ask yourself how you can best let go and go with the flow right now. How best can I let go and go with the flow right now? And I'm going to write that down on my little list here. Sorry, if you could see my desk right now, you would congratulate me. No. It's a good thing you can't see my desk half the time. Actually, it's not that bad. If you experience resistance or you're fighting up against something, not happy, just not feeling good about something, ask yourself, how best can I let go and go with the flow? And then do it, okay? Because you want to let these things happen so your energy can shift and let things in. Now, I've talked about instigating shifts in your life a few times on these webinars. And that's something you really want to keep in mind, is anything that's happening is going to instigate a shift in your life. And if you want to bring something into your life, or if you don't like the way your life is going at that time, we all have these cycles, right? If you want to get the energy moving because you want to bring a manifestation into your life, if you want something more exciting or an opportunity to come into your life, that is the best thing you can do, is instigate a shift, okay? And I talked about how you can do that, and you can do that by rearranging your house and, I mean, stuff like that. But I find if you really want to instigate a shift in a bigger, more powerful way, doing different things can be really helpful. And that would be like going on one of these transformational retreats that we lead. Definitely, that would be my number one suggestion. Or going somewhere yourself, to another country, like get completely out of your paradigm, because that will totally knock you off your energy grids and completely do something different to you. Doing life differently, perceiving differently, deciding to deciding to make commitments or changes in your life that are going to shift things. Getting into like a 40-day exercise program, or a 40-day, you know, it doesn't have to be 40 days, or like a 2-week juice feast, or anything that would just be something. Most of the time, I will say most of the time, but a lot of times the best thing to do is do something really different but healthy to help you get shifted. So now I want to go back to the subject of why don't we, because we all at some time or another do this, don't we go for our heart? Why don't we go for those dreams? Why do we only go part way? Why do we get a little lazy with things? Why do we put ourselves on the back burner of what we really want? And I'll say that we're so good at making excuses, justifying why, coming up with all these reasons of why we can't follow our hearts. I want to talk about somebody that was posting in this forum that I'm a member of, and it started out as some, a oracle card question, but then it turned into something else. And eventually she said that her father died and she lives next door to her mother. And her, mother, since her father died, is like latching onto her and saying, oh, she's that her daughter now is her whole life. And so she feels really guilty because she's pretty young. I don't know how old she is. I think she's like in her early 30s or something like that. And she really has the itch to go like move and, like go into a new phase of her life. She's an entrepreneur and she just wants to experience things. And she's tired of, she's experienced where she lived all her life and she's done with it. And she just wants more. But she has this incredible guilt about leaving her mom when her mom keeps saying, you're my whole life. And she feels bad because her, dad's not there anymore and all this stuff. So I basically said to her, even if your mom really didn't want you to live your life, which I doubt that if you asked, do you really want your daughter not to live her life because you need her to lean on or whatever, I'm sure she would say, no, she probably would like to say, I just want her to stay here. But most likely she would say, no, I would like her to live her life, even though that would be hard for her. Even if she really didn't want her to go live her life and wanted her to stay there, and her daughter was willing to do that, by her daughter staying and doing that, she's actually not helping herself or her mother. She's actually hindering both. And even if she wanted to stay there and her mom wanted her to stay there, but she knew that she should explore other things, or would live her life the way that would be her own way of living, she would still be holding herself back, justifying, making excuses, or whatever it is. I said to her, maybe you're here, and I don't know, I just threw this out because I wasn't really tuning in, it just came to me. Maybe the daughter thing in life right now is to learn to honor herself and put her needs first, and learn that she's here on her path and her mom's here on her path, and you have to live your path. And certainly if her heart is saying, I really want to move and explore and do these things, but she's staying with mom out of guilt, she's not following her heart. So she's settling, she's holding herself back, and it's creating an unhappiness for her, an unfulfillment for her. On the other side, maybe her mom needs her daughter to leave so she can learn how to love herself again, how to be with herself again, how to live her life again. And as long as her daughter's there as a crutch, she's going to hold on and not do that. So it's not serving either one of them in their highest good to have that relationship going. That's not going to be beneficial or healthy for either one of them. And she was just like, she said she started crying when she read that, because she really, when you cry and have a reaction, an emotional reaction, you've hit something deep. And crying isn't about sadness. A lot of times it's just like you hit something deep in your heart, and it's so true, it resonates so true that emotionally you feel that, and you express emotions without really trying to, right? It just comes out. So where are you giving your life to a place or a situation, a living situation, where you're not able to follow your heart? Now you might say, and I don't know if any of you are saying this, but this would be a common one, well, I have kids, well, I have my husband, or whatever. Remember, the universe knows your conditions. The universe knows you have kids, you have a husband, you have a disability, you have whatever it is. So don't get in the way of allowing the universe to show you how it could work. Because especially all of you on this webinar, I hope that I've been an example, or I've given examples enough for you to know that the universe orchestrates things so amazingly that it's like, I don't know why it still shocks me, but it shocks me the detail that the universe can actually work every single detail out better than we could ever imagine. And everybody is taken care of. Everybody. How does that happen? I mean, somebody could come into your life from out of nowhere. You just ran into them on the street, and they were the exact person that helped you shift something so something great could come in. I mean, that happened recently to me, and I don't even remember what it was. I mean, it happens all the time. The synchronicities happen all the time. And so if you have whatever your conditions are, meaning whatever it is, your kids, your whatever your excuse, and I'm not saying that in a negative way, but whatever your excuse is, don't let that be your limitation. Don't let your condition be your limitation. Okay, because the universe knows, and the universe will fix that. Will not fix that, but it will make things happen so it's fine. Okay. What did I just say? Because I wanted to write this down. Don't let your excuses, I don't know if that's what I said. Be your limitations. I don't think that's what I said, but I will remember, because an excuse is a limitation most of the time. So I want to keep track of this chat room. And so you say, universe, my conditions, and my heart really wants to go to Timbuktu. How can that be possible? Okay, if you think you don't have the money or the resources, or somebody has to take care of the kids or the chickens or whatever it is, just put it out there. This is what my heart is wanting, and I want this too. Show me the way, okay? Because I know you have all the answers, universe. I know how you have all the answers. And I want you to remember something. All solutions are in a different dimension, a different vibration than the problem. So if you try to get a solution from the place that you're vibrating of the problem, you're not going to get that solution, because the solution's never going to be vibrating at the same level as your problem. So what does that mean? You've got to expand your energy. You've got to expand your consciousness. You have to expand your wonder, your possibilities, your openness to embrace that everything can be solved. There's a solution for everything, but you have to be open enough to reach for that solution. If you're so bogged down in some sort of worry, some sort of problem that you can't figure it out, you've got to just step out of it and say, you know what, universe, everybody take a nice deep breath right now. Let's take one of those nice deep breaths that I'm always talking about. Take a few of them. Doing that opens your energy up. Just breathing opens your energy up. Stopping and breathing. But getting bogged down in your head and getting bogged down in the worry, in the fears, in the I'm scared, or this might happen, or that'll never happen for me, or this is really what I really want, but there's no way that can ever happen. That is not going to open you up to that. You have to breathe. You have to push your energy open. Okay, sides up to the top, down from the bottom, in the back, in the front. So open to receiving, and breathe again. And say, I'm ready to allow this into my life in a way that will work for me and my family and whatever it is, my finances, my situation. I'm ready. Show me the way. And that's really all you have to do, besides listen and pay attention then. But approach it in a calm, centered, open, breathing way. Calm, center, open, breathing way. Sorry, I'm taking these notes. So, being tight and being worried and not believing and making excuses and settling and justifying and judging is all holding you back. It's all holding you back. And those judgments, it's all holding you back. I want to say one thing that I wasn't going to talk about in this session, but it came to me again. It came to me earlier. And it has to do with, what does it have to do with? Your sexuality. I guess it could also do with just relationships. It doesn't have to only do with sex. It could do sexuality. That doesn't necessarily mean screwing or sex. It could. But I'm just getting all these tangles. I don't know. It's like when you can come home to yourself and have your inner expression enlivened. Enliven your inner expression of yourself and deal with the relationships around you in a way where you're not judging people like, oh, he doesn't do this right, or she doesn't do that right, or if only this person could do this, or if only that person would do that, or if they could do this. I mean, whatever it is, what I'm saying is accepting people exactly how they are and where they are in the moment, in that day, is much better than judging what they can't do, what they won't do, how they are, whatever it is. I always say that the minute you make a judgment, you've just limited your consciousness because you've deemed something as a truth. And when you make a judgment, it's usually not expansive. I mean, I won't say all judgments aren't expansive. Well, usually when you make a judgment, it's like, this is that, okay? But everybody knows that there's always more than that. So instead of expecting people or wishing that people were different ways so things could be better for you, the best thing you can do is to accept them exactly where they are, exactly how they are in that every day, in that moment, in that whatever, in life, as well as accepting yourself as who you are, as you are in that moment, in that day, in your life. Accepting yourself and others exactly for who you are and where you are and how you are. And even if somebody's really mean, or if somebody's crazy, or somebody's nice, or whatever, or somebody's sick, or whatever it is, just accepting that. Because you know what? You can't change somebody else. You can only change yourself. So wishing that somebody would be different, thinking that life would be better if somebody was different, is actually just hindering you. But if you can just accept people, then you can move on from there. Okay, I'm going to accept this and know that everything is perfect. Everything is meant to be this way for whatever reason. And I'm just going to accept this, and I'm just going to do the best I can today. And I'm going to remember, this is what's in my heart is what I'm going for. And it doesn't mean that you have to worry about, if I go for what's in my heart, I'm not going to be there for these people or whatever it is. Remember, the universe knows your conditions. Now, talking about going for your dreams and being brave enough to go for your dreams, think about the biggest changes that you ever made in your life. The biggest transformations. You probably had more than one. Maybe you've only had one. I don't know. But think of a time in your life. Ramin's asking, how do you chat? Ramin, go to the webinar jam link that I sent you in your email that you registered. Go to that link. I know it's confusing because I invited you to Google Plus because Webinar Jam changed their format, and that's how I had to do it. But we are all on Webinar Jam, and you can chat there. Because right now, I think I'm the only one that can see you sending your chats. I forgot where I was. Something about being brave enough. I don't remember, but that's where I'm going to go. Being brave enough to go for what you want in your heart. So yeah, after everything I've just said, which was a lot, think about, what were the biggest transformations you had in your life? Like, what were the biggest things that happened in your life that were transforming? So I'll give you an example. One of mine, I guess I've had a lot. I mean, several. But when I went and moved to Egypt, that was like huge for me because I totally closed one book and opened another one. I just like ended one life and walked into another one. And that's the beauty of this particular lifetime that we're living in. We have so much opportunity to step into a new life without dying to get there. And I wrote about that in my Egypt blog, and I know I brought that up before. But there's so much opportunity to step into a whole new life without dying to get there in this lifetime. That's one unique thing about this lifetime, actually. And so you can make these huge changes, but that took a lot of bravery for me to do that. That was huge. It's not every day that you wake up and say, I'm leaving today. I had no plan to leave the day that I left. I had no plan. I knew the day was coming, but I didn't know how or when. I had no idea how it was going to happen. I didn't know. I was just waiting every day for my guidance. And then something happened. But it happened. That morning I woke up, I felt weird. I did feel weird. And then one event led to another. And the next thing you know, I was like calling Homer and Mary and a few other people and saying, can you come help me move out today? And I did. And I never looked back. And I was not planning to leave that day. And I don't know, was it 2 months later? No, 2 weeks later, I went to Egypt for like a month and a half. And then I came back for like another month and a half, and then I moved there. And that takes a lot of bravery. That just takes a lot. But I'll tell you one thing. At that point, it wasn't about being brave. It was more about, I had finally come to a time in my life that I loved myself too much to stay in the situation I was in. And, it wasn't a horrible situation. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't it wasn't ideal, obviously. Otherwise, I would have stayed in it. But it was more, there was a lot of aspects to it. It wasn't like, oh, he was like a horrible jerk. He really wasn't. He was a nice person. Yeah, he did some stuff that I didn't like, but that's okay. I was probably doing stuff he didn't like. It works both ways, right? But the truth was that I was changing, and I needed certain energies and ways of being in my life. And I wasn't being fed that and it has nothing to do with him. It has to do with me and what's around me and what I accept and what boundaries I have and, everything I created in my life. So as we evolve and change and grow, we need different things. And so either people stay up with you and stay up with that, or they don't. And it doesn't mean like, oh, well, then we're just going to start leaving people in our life because they don't stay up with us. That's all a personal choice too. But the thing is, it was not about bravery for me at that point. It was more about what I needed for me. I couldn't not let my heart have what it needed. I guess that's a big thing in transformation. If you look at the times where you had a big transformation, were you feeling like your heart just you couldn't say no to it? Your heart was overriding your head. There was no way that anything was going to stop you from doing what you needed to do, because your heart was just saying, no, you can't do this anymore. You can't. And sometimes that is like a health decision, you know? Sometimes it's I remember when I found out I was pregnant. And back then I was this party animal. When I was in my 20s, I was just like the biggest party animal, okay? And I just partied and drinking and drugs. I was doing everything. And I found out I was pregnant. I didn't know. And I found out, and I smoked cigarettes and everything. I was like, cold turkey, stopped everything. The moment I knew, that was it. And I completely just went into this whole new, okay, I'm straight, I'm living my life, I'm pregnant, whatever. I mean, people talk about, oh, this, like smoking's addicting or drinking. I mean, if you're doing that, it's not normal for someone just to stop something, just everything, just cold turkey like that. But it was for me. I had a baby in me. I was like, no way I was going to do any of those things. And so maybe that's my morals. I don't know what it is, but I have to say that I am quite sure that even though that whole situation of getting pregnant at the time, like I totally wasn't like ready for all that, but I do believe that getting pregnant, my son saved my life. I do believe that, because I was just like, I wasn't like a druggie in the street or anything, but I worked and did all those things, but just like this party animal. I was like this, hung out with those kind of people, and that's what I did. But I am sure that he saved my life, or at least got me to a healthy life, if nothing else. So things always happen for good reasons, even if they don't seem like they might be good things at the time. And so, when I decided to go to Egypt, I'm sure maybe that saved my life too. You never know. Let's see, somebody in the Manifesting Breakthroughs private group was talking about today, I'm not going to the long story, but a long story short, she's got, I think, 2 or 3 really big dogs, and then she has a neighbor who's scared of dogs and is always afraid that the dogs are going to attack him. I don't know the whole story, something like that. And so he's always paranoid about it. Even though he likes the dogs, he's very paranoid and worried about the dogs. And then he went to visit, I guess, an old family friend that he's known for like 40 years or something. I might be wrong, because I've been maybe I don't know, something like that. It was like a family, friends that he's known for a long time. And they have a 2-year-old and a dog. And for some reason, the dog attacked him, and just like, he has like, bit him. It was like really bad. And they had to put the dog to sleep. And up to that point, the dog was never aggressive. In fact, the dog was always like spending time with the baby. And so they were all shocked. Like, they couldn't believe that this happened. So she was worried, like, okay, this guy obviously manifested that, and my dogs would never attack anybody. But if that dog did that, and it was like devastating, because that family had to put their pet to sleep, and it never did anything like that before. She's worried that he's manifest strong enough that maybe her dogs will attack him too, because he's in that energy. And I could go on about a lot of theories about the whole situation, but one thing I said to her was, I said a lot, but one thing I said was, you never know why that happened. Was there some karmic thing that was happening? Maybe the dog attacked him, and because it's better to attack him instead of the baby, who would have probably been killed if the dog turned and attacked the baby. So, I always believe things happen for good reasons. So we don't know why that happened, but potentially happening to him might have saved that baby. Okay. I would hate to think of that, but you just never know. And so you just never know why certain things happen. And so you can speculate and you can wonder and you can get all into it, but you just never know why these things happen. I don't even know why I went off into that. I don't know. I feel kind of dizzy just like talking about all this stuff. I'm feeling a whole shift with me. It's really weird. You know, that's the other thing about instigating a shift. Like when you start talking about things, like I am, like talking about what happened with how I felt when I was going to Egypt, and it wasn't about being brave, it was about following my heart, or why things, oh, this is probably why things happened in, you know, when I got pregnant with my son, to stop me from like hurting my body with, you know, these substances. So you just never know why things happen, because they can be getting you out of situations where things could go bad, where things can go worse. So that's why I'm saying don't fight up against things, embrace things, and don't judge things, and go for them. So I want you to think about what's really in your heart and why. I think I've addressed, I want you to write this down, because I want this to be an exercise you think about this week or anytime, forever. I want you to think about following your heart and what's in your heart, and what, if you could do anything, what's there? I'm sure right now, all of you could say right now at least one thing you would really like to do. And maybe it's not the full-blown picture, because maybe you haven't even allowed yourself to dream and have the full picture of, if I could do anything right now, what would it be? Where would I live? What would I be doing? What, you know, what is it? Maybe it's time to just allow yourself to think that big for a day. What would it be? Because sometimes we think that way and then we get away from it, and then we're just manifesting little things because we're just like, okay, you know, that's a big, huge dream. Like I want to go live in a palace and wherever and whatever, right? I'm going to ask all of you to dream big and think about that. If I could do anything right now, if I could live anywhere, if I could be anything, if I could feel any way, if I could, whatever it is, what would that be? Okay. And then I want you to just like pick one thing, a big thing. Like if there is one thing right now, like that would really change my life, that would really make me happy, what would that be? What could that be? And this is something for you. This isn't something for someone else. So I don't want you to think, if I could just, you know, make this person healthy or whatever. No, because everybody's on their path and everybody's exactly where they were meant to be right now. So allow them the space to experience what they chose to experience right now. And it's not up to us to judge what they are experiencing right now, because they came to do that. They came to experience. We all came here to experience different things. And so everybody needs to just allow people to have that experience and not judge it as, oh, this is so bad, or this is sad, or I'm so, you know, worried. You have to love them and say, I'm going to support you in this experience right now. It's perfect for you. And this experience for me is perfect for me. So when I say, first of all, have that nice big dream of if you could do anything. And then that's cool. Keep that dream. But then I just kind of want you to hone something in and go, you know what? What's my next step? If I could do or have or be anything in my next step, my next big step. I'm not talking about something small, something, you know, significant. What would really make my heart soar? Like say you wanted to move to somewhere, or you wanted to whatever. Okay. And I want you to then write that down and say, okay, what's stopping me? And I want you to write down all your excuses. I don't want you to ignore them. I want you to write down all your excuses, all your justifications, all your reasons why you can't do it, why you haven't done it, why you might not ever be able to do it. Let your head talk, okay? And then I want you to go in your heart and ask yourself, how can I, what was that thing I said earlier today? That's why I like to write these things down. Whenever you're feeling resistance or fighting it or not allowing it, ask yourself, how best can I let go and go with the flow and allow this into my life? How can I best let go? So one thing that you could let go of is believing you can't have it. Taking those excuses and ripping them up and burning them and saying, okay, I'm not going to even think about these limitations anymore, because that's what that is. I want to open my energy. I want to push my energy open, take these big, deep breaths and say, how can I best let go with the flow, and allow this into my life? Take that deep breath. I'm ready to allow this into my life. Universe, I know you know all my conditions. I know you know my situation. And I'm ready to allow this into my life so it works out perfect for me and everyone in my situation, everyone attached to me. Okay? Because that's what it takes. And every time I've done that, miracles happen. And when I say miracle, it's really not a miracle. It's just that I opened myself up enough to allow the universe to let that happen for me. Instead of saying I can't have it because of this, and I can't have it because of that, and this person is in my way, and that person is blocking me, and this thing about my body is in my way. And you know what's in your way? That thinking. It's that thinking that's in your way. No one and no thing is in your way except your mind telling you it is. So it's time for you to start saying, how can I open myself up to the flow and allow this into my life? The universe knows my conditions. This will work out perfectly for me and everyone that's around me. Believe me. Approach it like that and you'll get what you want. It's not hard. Don't ever make it hard. It's not hard. The hardest thing you have to do is get out of your limited thinking. Get out of it. Okay? So there was something I wanted to talk about. You know what? I'm not really going to, because I want to do readings for you all. I totally feel like that. I needed to do that for you tonight, but I just want to run this by you, and maybe I'll talk about it at the next session. I don't know, but I think it's worth just running through this list. I was thinking tonight, before we got on, like, about wise people and the traits of a wise person. And so obviously this is not like a whole comprehensive list, but I was thinking of traits of a wise person. And I think if you can approach life with traits of a wise person, you could actually create a lot better. And because a wise person is much more open and allowing and non-judgmental and things like that. So if you can think about some of these traits, or remind yourself to work on some of these traits that maybe you don't normally have, it would really help. So I'm just going to read these off, and you could write them down if you want. Okay, I don't want to forget to say this last part. Okay, so there's some traits of a wise person. Wise people are usually wise because they have had a lot of experiences, a lot of experiences. And a lot of times it's traumatic experiences. They've dealt with some really hard times, maybe growing up, or, you know, people around them that have instigated some traumas and stuff. But a wise person will always learn from those experiences and those traumas. Okay, so they will typically use it to their benefit, and it's not like they're thinking like, oh, I've got to learn from this, or I've got to, you know, leverage this to so that this becomes a benefit to me. It's something natural, like just a natural way of being, that they've had a lot of trials and tribulations, and that's how they've learned a lot about wisdom and how they can help other people. Wise people typically are leaders or people that other people look up to or ask for advice, or, you know, usually they're a very centered, grounded person that's very consistent in their way of being. They're not like up and down, like mad one minute, happy the next minute, mad one minute, happy the next minute. They're usually pretty even keeled. And I'm not saying that everybody's always perfect. Everybody has their moods, but you always pretty much can expect them to be pretty solid and a stable sort of person. So people feel safe around people who are consistent and stable. If people are too erratic, like they can just get pissed off one minute, or, you know, just goof around the next minute, or just, you just never know what to really expect, or they don't take themselves, or if people aren't serious sometimes, or don't take themselves seriously, people aren't always going to feel that safety around people unless they're really just, yeah, I mean, they just like to be around people who are consistent, you know, and centered and grounded, and know that that person's normally going to be like that, so you know what to expect. So anyway, wise people come from a place of observation, and they tend to listen a lot more than they talk. That's a huge one. They observe, they sit back, they listen, they observe, and they don't judge. Usually that's a really interesting way of thinking, or looking at somebody or hearing about somebody saying, that's a very interesting way of being. Oh, that's a very interesting place they're in. It's a very interesting way of thinking or reacting. Okay, they just watch, they observe, and they realize that everybody is where they're at, and that's okay. They're tolerant, much more tolerant than, you know, the norm. So they have a lot more tolerance rather than judging and calling people names and insulting people, or just having a judgment on people one way or another. They have a lot of tolerance, and they have a lot of compassion. They have a lot of patience. They tend to see the good in people. Yeah, they tend to see the good in people. They usually will create a strong network. And what does that mean? Yeah, I mean, if you're the kind of person that, or a wise person is the kind of person that's stable and centered, you tend to attract other people to you like that. And, you know, then they have their network of these types of people that they can turn to as well. They're disciplined. They are humble. And I'm not saying that all wise people are perfect at all these things, but these are a lot of their traits. This is a good one. They handle rejection and failure well. They know how to handle rejection and failure. They don't take it so personally. They don't put themselves down over it. They're not afraid to take risks because they might fail or they might be rejected. They don't. They are willing to take calculated risks. They are willing to take a risk because if they feel that it's the right thing, if they're going with the flow, they're going with their guidance, they're willing to take that risk because they know they'll always land on their feet, right? So even if something comes up where it feels like something didn't go right or failed or rejected, I don't even feel like they would say, oh, I failed or I was rejected. It is what it is. Okay, they wouldn't judge it one way or another, but they're not going to hold themselves back because they might be rejected or they might fail. They wouldn't have that mindset. Because most wise people would know that nothing is a failure. It's all perfect. If it happened, it was supposed to happen. And so it's not necessarily a bad thing, okay? I already said they're guided by wisdom. They know their priorities. They're trustworthy and consistent. And they make the most from their relationships. And they're not afraid to have relationships. And I'm not talking about necessarily love relationships. It could be. But because they tend to see the good in people, even if there might be some weirdness or interestingness in people, they tend to see the goodness in people and know that usually people are doing the best they can, even if it wouldn't seem they were. And the last thing I want, so, that's really a really good thing to think about these qualities, because which of these things are you doing that could be getting in your way? Are you talking too much and not listening? Are you not tolerant of other people? I forgot this one. They're reflective. They reflect a lot, meaning they think about things, they ponder things, they process things. Are you compassionate? Are you disciplined? Are you patient? Are you humble? Are you afraid to do things because you might be rejected or fail? Are you consistent? Are you trustworthy? And do you make the most of relationships? I can talk about relationships another time. Anyway, so really a good list of things to think about. The last thing I want to talk about before I do the readings is make sure that you are in integrity with yourself and integrity with what that in your heart, what you want to manifest. I don't even want to say what you want to manifest from your heart. Use that word manifest, but that kind of feels like it means you don't have it yet. So I don't really like that. If it's in your heart, it's already there waiting for you. It's waiting for you to catch up with you. If it's something that's really burning in your heart in a good way, something you really, really, really would love to feel in your life, passion, love, connection, abundance, whatever it is, if you're feeling it in your heart, it's already there. You just need to catch up with you. So it's not about even really creating it or manifesting it. It's about you getting out of your way. Stop thinking up the excuses. Stop justifying why you can't do things. Stop settling. The universe knows your conditions. How can I best let go and go with the flow and allow this in my life? You need to get out of your way and open yourself up. Take those deep breaths. Push your energy open. Open yourself up to receiving and allow it. Okay, that's key right there. I have just given you the golden ticket to whatever is in your heart and whatever you're ready to experience. It's already there. You don't need to create it or manifest it. It's in your heart. It's something that was always meant for you to attain, but it's always been waiting for you to step up to attain it. Stop thinking about those excuses and those reasons why you can't, because if it's in your heart, you can, and not only that, you were meant to, with your current conditions around you. Yes. So I hope that you guys understand that. Okay, be in integrity with what's in your heart. So that means, again, when you're in integrity, you're matching the energy of what you're really wanting to experience. So opening yourself up to that, knowing that it's already there, knowing that you were meant to, knowing that regardless of your conditions, you absolutely, the universe can arrange it to be in your life right now. So stay in integrity with it. Okay? All right. So I'm going to do a card reading for everybody. I'm still, I say I'm jet lagging, but maybe I'm not. Maybe I just changed my sleeping patterns because of the time change. I have been so tired that I go to bed at 8:30 at night. And so now it's almost 11 my time. So it's way past my bedtime. So I'm tired. And I've been getting up super early, which has, I mean, I guess I still got up early before because I would have some healing sessions early. But now I'm like awake early, I'm energized, I'm ready to get up and take a shower and get on with my day very early in the day. And it's been nice to change that and shift that. But I was just yawning thinking, boy, I'm tired. But that's because normally I'm sound asleep by now. So anyway, okay. So I'm going to start with the top of the list. So I'll start with Ramin and work my way down. And I'm looking at the attendee list again because I haven't looked. Paulette, Brenda, Christy, Homer, Liz, and Ramin. Excuse me one moment. Lemon water is very delicious. Okay. Ramin. So I am just going to ask whatever message needs to come through for each of you right now. And so we'll see what kind of messages the Seraphim angels, all our guides, whatever messages, whatever light beings are working with each of us right now, and what messages we need to hear. So this is for you, Ramin. Six of Raphael. Embrace your inner child, new friends or rekindled relationships, children or childhood. This is the card. So let me see what I'm getting from this. So what I'm hearing as I was looking at the picture was, let your heart be your inner guide. Get out of your head and get into your heart. And one way for you to do that is to find some happiness and find some peace and solace. And that would be in nature. And if you could see this card, you would see them very happy, very smiling, enjoying just being out there. Again, I'm hearing relationships being rekindled. I'm hearing don't be fearful of things not working out, because that is what keeps things from not working out, is that fear. So if you ever have fear that something's not going to work out, you are really getting in the way of it working out. So it's really not in your best interest to allow yourself to go to those fearful spaces and places. And what I'm hearing is for you to find a fail-safe way of having a have a technique or a fail-safe way of refocusing your mind out of those fears and those doubts, because that is the number one thing that is keeping what you want in your life from coming in. So figure out what you can do when you start having those fears and doubts pop in that can shift them out. And one thing you could do is write down what I've been saying tonight. Taking that deep breath, pushing your energy open, taking another deep breath and another deep breath, and saying, how best can I let this go and go with the flow and allow this into my life? If you just write that down or memorize it, so every time you start going into fear or judgment or doubts, you can open your energy back up, because that's what you need to do. And this is something that's completely imperative to you and your success in getting what you want in your life. You just got the golden ticket. You just got your answer for everything. So I hope you listen, and I hope you do it. Okay. Can I see this? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Brenda, you're next. Brenda, 2 of Michael. It will all be better if you just make a decision. Overanalyzing a problem. Find a compromise. 2 of Michael. It will all be better if you just make a decision. Overanalyzing a problem. Find a compromise. And you've got 2 unicorns. Dueling it out. And when I see that, what I'm getting is you inside dueling it out. So, I mean, that's pretty straightforward message. It all will be better if you just make a decision. Let me see if there's something else that the angels want me to tell you about this. There's so much more around you that you can't see. Because you're so focused in on the problem or the issues or the situations that it's like a horse with blinders. But if you could just like take those blinders off and remember that we live in an expansive universe. And I see this in this picture, like there's a whole, I mean, we're focused in on the unicorns, but if you look at the picture, there's a whole big sunrise there and a big expansive ocean. You might not be able to see that, but I can. And so there's so much more that you're not seeing. And the angels are asking you to open your energy, open your consciousness, expand your consciousness so more can come in. More messages, more insight, more opportunities. So there's a lot more that you're not seeing because you're too closed in. So tonight's webinar is perfect for you. Homer is next. I want to know what he's seeing too, Brenda. Okay, Homer. Eight of Gabriel. Wow, this is cool. A great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results, important communication. 8 of Gabriel. Gabriel is the angel of communication. A great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results, important communication. This is a really cool picture. There's this angel with all these birds flying around her. So let me see what more message angels would like me to tell you. Okay, the first thing I'm getting is be at peace. Like that's like the pinnacle. Be at peace. When you're at peace, everything else can come into place. There's a lot in motion right now, and this is, I got the peace is this here. I see that as a peace dove. So that's at the pinnacle. But there's a lot of shifting and movement going on around you, and new things coming in, and you're going to be able to pick and choose. So what the message I'm getting is, don't let things limit you. Don't let your mind limit you. So this is also a perfect webinar for you, because there's a lot of new energy coming in. Do you see all these birds? I mean, they're coming in from here. They're all different colors. They're getting bigger and bigger. They're surrounding you. You've got lots of angels there helping you. I just see a lot of light beings around you that want to help shift things for you. And what they want to help shift for you first are your mindsets, your limiting mindsets, because that is what's holding you hostage. You've got to stop letting your mind take you to fear and worry and doubt and all that depression, like all that stuff. You just got to let that go. And so that saying for you is also for you. How, whenever you're feeling those worries or those fears, how best can I let go and go with the flow and allow whatever it is into your life to come into your life? I just see a lot of choices for you. Yeah, and Homer's saying I was really at peace when I was in the Red Sea, and I feel like this is an extension of that message from the Red Sea. So don't lose that. Don't lose what you felt in the Red Sea. Allow it to expand for you. Allow the angels or the consciousness or whatever it is that's working with you to open up new channels of opportunities for you, because it's there. And they're just saying you've got to let go of those limiting mindsets, because that is the only thing in the way. Wow, that's powerful. Okay, Christy. Hello, Christy. How are you feeling? I know that stuff was going on right before I left for Egypt, so I haven't heard from you, and I hope that you're doing okay. Okay, this one's for you, Christy. Whoa, yours just flipped out. Yours like flipped out and flipped right over like that. Like, okay, I guess I better pay attention to this one. Page of Gabriel. Energetic, brave, optimistic, and playful. That's a good start. Follow your passion. You are ready for any challenge. Opportunities for excitement and adventure. Wow. So tonight's webinar was good for you as well, I guess. Oh, good. You're so much better. I'm glad to hear that. So sounds like tonight's webinar was for you as well, because this card has so much energy to it. Maybe the picture isn't looking that energetic, but it looks like he's got his staff and it's lit up and he's ready for an adventure, and he's got angels with him and she's ready to adventure with you. So that's Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel, again, is the Archangel of communication. So I want to read this card to you again. And I really want you to feel this card has a lot of power. Just holding it, I can totally feel it as wow. And that's funny because I don't, no offense, but I don't particularly, I mean, I should probably like this picture because it's kind of Egyptianish. Look at it, it's in the desert, and look at his clothes. But I don't know. Anyway, Page of Gabriel. Energetic, brave, optimistic, playful. Follow your passion. You are ready for any challenge. Opportunities for excitement and adventure. And what I'm hearing is let go of the limitations of why you can't because you can. They're reminding you of what I said, that the universe knows your conditions. And the universe can always figure out the way for you if you just say that this is what you want and open up to allow it to come in for you. I do see this as you, like you are, stating what you are ready for. And that Archangel Gabriel is there. If you can see this card up close, she's kind of behind you, and she wants you to invite her to help you. So call in Archangel Gabriel and ask her to stand with you and help you to go on this new adventure of following your passion, because you are ready for any challenge, apparently, and there are opportunities for excitement and adventure, and I know you'd like to go on adventures too. So instead of feeling like something's limiting you from being able to have these opportunities and for excitement and adventure, Archangel Gabriel is going to help you with that. And you can also say, how can I let go to go with the flow and allow these opportunities and adventure into my life? Okay, so the webinar has been perfect so far for every one of you. Amazing. Okay, and now Liz. I've got your card, Liz. 9 of Michael. Your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. I'm going to read it again. 9 of Michael. Your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. And here's the picture. And he's sitting on his bed, and that looks like an owl. Yes, that's an owl. And he's flying out the door. So it feels like he's letting go of his worries and unnecessary worries and concerns. But what I'm hearing is, so first of all, I don't feel like you're sitting there worrying all the time, but there is some there. And what I'm feeling like is you may not be aware of it. It's not as obvious. It's sort of subtle. You may know when it kicks in and kicks out. But what the angels are telling me is there's an underlying energy of worry, that it's a current that runs beneath the surface. So they're saying to be aware of that. And hold on. They're saying everything's lining up, and I feel like at times if you do have some fears or worries or anxiety, it's not really a fear or a worry. It's more of a the unknown. So it's, when we get, it's not really it feels like a nervous feeling or an anxious feeling, but it's just like the unknown, so you just don't know. So, of course, you know, we sometimes mistaken the unknown for feeling challenged or worrying or having fear, but to just embrace everything where it is and as it shows up, allow things to keep showing up for you. And as things keep showing up for you, keep embracing it, because there's something behind that. They keep showing me like, there's something behind that, there's something behind that, and that there's like all these things behind each other. So let each one come in and come in and come in and come in, and eventually the big one will open for you. So it's just like all these doors that you're going to keep walking through. So you're going to have quite a bit of unknown. Don't let that get you carried away in any way or fearful. And also they're saying, don't allow naysayers to ever bring you down. And what's interesting is, I know in the history that I've known you, especially in the beginning, you used to always have a lot of people that would be naysayers to you about different things that you were doing. And I don't see that much with you anymore. You know, and we all, to a certain extent, have some naysayers come into our experience, but you used to have it a lot, and I don't see that with your energy anymore. So that's quite the accomplishment. You have really shifted in a lot of ways, but that's a really good one, whatever you did to shift out of that. And I want you, and the angels want you to acknowledge that in yourself, because that's huge. And yeah, they're the ones telling me that, because I didn't really think about that. But they want you to acknowledge how far you've come and how you don't attract those kind of people into your life anymore. And you're really following your passion, and things are really just opening for you. You're ready. You're at the perfect place. And things are, the doors are just going to keep boom, 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 opening for you. Just keep walking through them. And then the big one's going to happen. So the big one, Elizabeth, the big one is going to happen. That was from Stanford and Son, in case you don't know. Okay, that's pretty cool news. Okay, and Paulette. Hello, Paulette. You've been very quiet, my darling. Let's see what's up for Paulette. Liz says, thanks, Cindy. I no longer try to help people who don't want to be helped. Yes, that is so much easier, isn't it? I learned that so early in my work, that if people don't want to be helped, they'll move on then. Move on with your bad self and let me find the people who do want to be helped. It's not worth going there. Okay, Paulette. 4 of Gabriel. A lot of Gabriels tonight. Gabriels and Michaels. Okay, time for a celebration. Abundant rewards for hard work. Release yourself from burdensome situations. Wow, this card is, ooh la la. Let's show you this card. It is a romantic couple inside of a beautiful gazebo. And he is like, hello, darling. So, and then there's Archangel Gabriel looking over the whole situation there. So let me see. I'm going to read it one more time, and then I'm going to give you a message. Paulette, 4 of Gabriel. Remember, Gabriel is the archangel of communication. Well, you say you're tired tonight, but I think this card might have just got you some energy. Okay, so your card says, time for a celebration. Abundant rewards for hard work. Release yourself from burdensome situations. And what I'm hearing is pick your battles. Don't get caught up in drama. It's just so not worth your time and energy. And actually, drama and the little stuff is so draining on your energy. It's just like a leaky hole in your energy when you get around people who are drama filled or gossipy or negative. Like, you've got to steer clear from those people because it really drains you, and you have much better things to be putting your energy to. I do see love coming into your life, and so it's interesting with this card because of that. So what I'm hearing is Archangel Gabriel says, when you can beautify your thoughts and beautify your visions and beautify your visualizations of feeling and falling in love with yourself and a special person, and you can really visualize that and feel it in your heart, you can draw that in. And I hear that you are very close, but you have to really, this is so urgent and imperative for you to know that you have to stay away from negativity and drama and any energy that brings your energy down. Number one, huge. And spend all of that energy visualizing, feeling light, feeling love, feeling uplifted, feeling excited, feeling this inside your heart and seeing that inside your mind and living this energy. Because the sooner you can do that, the sooner you can do that. That's pretty cool. So how can I let go with the flow, and allow this into my life? I guess the webinar was for you too. All right. So let's see. The people who aren't here, I'm going to do Linda now. Linda, Lady Linda, how are you today? I hope you are fine. I miss you on the webinars. Okay, so this is for Linda. So many cards want to come out. I just want one card for Linda. Okay, Linda. Ace of Ariel. So we got away from Gabriel and Michael. It's your lucky day. Wow, you guys are getting really positive, uplifting cards, and they're not all like this, so this is good. It's your lucky day. New resources of money, time, or support. A change in job or a promotion. And here is the Ace of Ariel, and she's got beautiful nature around her and lots of golden coins. Those golden coins right there. That's the nature and abundance and beauty. It's very beautiful. So, Ace of Ariel, and Ace signifies a new beginning. It's your lucky day. New resources of money, time, or support. A change in job or promotion. So what I'm hearing is there's a shift coming in for you. It's already in motion. You're already in the shift. You may not, I feel like you don't see it or realize it, and so this is going to be news to you, but it is, and I am actually seeing lots of money around you. This is a shift that has to do with abundance of money and being able to support you in doing some things that you've wanted to do. New avenues of money are coming in. I just feel like something's going to open up for you. Some new doors where more finances can come in. And I'm feeling like it probably has to do with your mosaic stuff. But actually, I'm hearing that there's some other money that's going to come in that's unexpected. in a different way. So not only through the mosaics, but I feel like there's some money that's going to come in that you weren't expecting, and it'll be a nice surprise. And yeah, so be open to your abundance. Be open to receiving in known and unknown ways. So that can be your mantra that you want to say every single morning. I'm open to receiving in all known and unknown ways. And you can even say, I'm open to receiving whatever a certain thing is in known and unknown ways. But if you just say, I'm open to receiving in known and unknown ways, you can open to a lot. And I know that sometimes you go into the fear and doubt thing. So that same thing, when you're starting to feel that fear, doubt, or you start questioning things, I want you to use this as your fail-safe way to move out of that energy and change it, and say the same thing, the divine prescription I'm giving everybody else, which is, how can I best let go and go with the flow and allow whatever it is you want into your life. Okay? So it's your lucky day, your resources of money, time, or support, and it's already in the works. So be open to receiving. And the last person, I believe, is I. So I, this one's for you. I hope I didn't forget anyone. I don't think I did. Solutions. Archangel Zadkiel. Success that comes Oh, I'm back. I'm back. I don't know when that started, but I hope Linda, you got your message, darn it. I hope you did. So here is yours. Solutions, Archangel Zadkiel. Success that comes from objective compromise. Wow. Success that comes from objective compromise. Self-control and patience. Forgiving and healing energy. That's kind of a tough card there. So there's Archangel Zadkiel. He's looking very powerful. So you have a very powerful, powerful archangel working with you. I would call on him and work with him consciously if I were you. So success that comes from objective compromise, self-control, and patience, forgiving and healing energy. What I'm hearing is, don't take things so seriously. I feel like there's something difficult. Maybe somebody's being difficult with you, and you just have to stand your ground in your life. It's time for you to make boundaries and keep those boundaries. Don't be sloppy with your boundaries, because if you slip and slide, then the people around you will slip and slide. And so you determine how things are going to unfold by the way that you uphold yourself, by the example that you set for yourself. And if you kind of start backing down or giving in, people are going to kind of jump in and try to get you to do things you don't want to do. So you really have to stand firmly in your conviction. And this says success comes from objective compromise. Objective compromise. That means you are objective. So don't give in. Be objective. Like, look at it from the outside. If you were looking at somebody else's life and you knew what they wanted, would you make the same choices you're making for yourself? I'm hearing don't give in. Set your boundaries and keep your boundaries. You're getting, you let things slide, and then you end up not being happy where you slide into. And it feels like somebody's kind of not honoring your wishes and your energy and what you need to do. So success comes from objective compromise. You can compromise, but don't settle and don't give in if it's not something you want to do. Self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. And maybe it's time for you to get some healings and shift yourself, instigate a shift, because sometimes we need that too. So that is it. It's 11:27, and I just want to do a little bit of a meditation. Sorry, we're ending a little bit late tonight, but we started a little bit late. So everybody, please, I don't know, you know what? I would actually listen to this webinar again, because it was really important content, and I really feel like it can help you with a big shift right now in your life. And why wouldn't you? We have a powerful new moon upon us, and yes, Alma's an absent attendee, but she's always absent, so I'm not even going to bother doing a reading. I don't think she even watches these things. Anyway, there's a powerful new moon coming up soon. Actually, we also have a birthday coming up soon, and it's Homer's birthday on November 19th. And that means we missed Liz's birthday, which was like November, I want to say 1st, but I don't think it is. I think it's like the 4th. I don't remember. I think it's early November. I was in Egypt. Sorry, Liz. Happy birthday. And happy birthday to Homer in 2 days. But yeah, we have a powerful new moon coming up, and I think it's on the 22nd. And it's really a great moon for manifesting. And next year, I was listening to this, all of the new moons will also be super moons. So 2015 is going to be a year that you can manifest hugely, hugely. All the new moons are going to be super moons. That's amazing. Get ready. But this new moon is also very, very powerful. Oh, I was right. It is November 1st. I didn't think so. I wanted to say it, but I didn't think it was. Okay. And I didn't know that Mary was November 2nd. Okay. So, powerful new moon on the 22nd. I believe it's the 22nd. And next year, get ready. Start working these energies now. Start going for what's in your heart now, because this is going to be really, 2015 is a year you can land a lot of what you want in your life. So why not go for it? That's very exciting. Okay, so everybody close your eyes, take off your glasses, and yeah, take off your glasses and close your eyes, get comfortable, move your head and neck around, your shoulders, kick your legs out a little bit, shake out your arms and your hands, and then sit with or lay down with your hands straight up and open. And with your eyes closed, take some nice deep breaths. All I really want to do in this meditation today is get your energy opened again. So take 3 nice deep breaths. And you know, I say take it really deep And then blow out as hard as you can to let out all that old stale air. You know what? I want you to do one more deep breath, but this time I want you to imagine your whole spinal cord and your whole spine. And when you breathe in, I want you to feel air going straight down your spine. And when you breathe out, I want you to imagine all these mouths on your spine and spinal cord blowing out the old stale air. Okay, I know that sounds weird, but just try it. Oh, and also imagine a mouth. I know this sounds weird. Imagine a mouth at the top of your head blowing out. Okay, so here we go, taking that deep breath. And let all those mouths blow out. Do it one more time. And I'm going to tell you to do it one more time, but I want you to have a mouth on your third eye, on your forehead. And I really want you to blow out from there. Actually, imagine, yeah, that's enough. That's enough mouths. Let's just do that one more time. Okay. It's amazing. Wow, it actually made me feel dizzy blowing out from my third eye. But it's amazing when you have all those mouths blowing out, how it clears your body. My body feels so light right now doing that. So if you can continue to do that or practice that every day, it's really helpful. You can even imagine your mouths being in every chakra blowing out, okay? So just keep yourself breathing deeply. And I want you to send your grounding cords down to the core of the earth, wrapping them around that giant crystal, attuning yourself to that slow, strong heartbeat, and feeling that earth energy pulsing up through your grounding cords to your first chakra and back down. Continuing to let it pulse on its own. I want you to go to the center of your head and see yourself in a ball of, let's go in a crystal light. A crystal light right in the center of your head. And that looks to you however it looks. It could be a pyramid prism light, or it could be a round, brilliant crystal light. It could be a wand. It can be anything. Just imagine yourself in the center of your head in a crystal light. And let's attach a grounding cord to that crystal light and let it drop straight through your body down to the core of the earth, anchoring your spirit fully back into your body and feeling or imagining your spirit expanding out into your whole body, into all of your cells, and out into your aura. Remembering to take those nice deep breaths and blowing out through all those mouths. Imagine your aura around you. Let's make it a crystalline aura. So a crystal aura, whatever color you want. It can be just a prism light, or it can be an amethyst. Whatever color crystal light you want around you. And make sure it's full and even all the way around you. And open it up about 4 feet around you, 4 to 6 feet. Above your head, the same distance. Below your feet, the same distance, and all the way around you. And let it move slowly in a clockwise direction around you. And let's add a white light covering around your aura, just to keep all of your energy thick and full around you. I want you to open up your crown chakra, located at the top of your head, and see it as the most beautiful, brilliant, large, violet lotus flower, opening up its petals and reaching up into the source energy, connecting in with Creator source energy. And as it connects into that beautiful translucent white light high up in the heavens, allow that white light to begin pouring through all the petals and all the nooks and crannies of that lotus flower. And that lotus flower blooms even brighter and more vibrant and opens and surrounds your whole aura and makes a whole protective covering around your aura. And as that lotus flower opens and allows source energy to soak into it, it flows now into your body, that source energy, golden white, sparkly, translucent light, in through your brain, clearing it, in through all of your muscles, clearing them, in through all of your organs, clearing all of your organs, clearing all of your blood, clearing all of your bones, and washing down through your body, swirling around your aura, and then down to the core of the earth. And just feel that beautiful, continuous flow of source energy flowing through you, around your aura, and down to the core of the earth, cleansing you, clearing you, uplifting you, raising your vibration. Breathe it in and blow it out through all your mouths. And continue to breathe it in and blow it out. The more you can breathe in that source energy, the more it infuses into every cell of your physical and energetic body. Fill yourself with that beautiful light. And now I want you to push all of your energy open with that beautiful source energy. And I want you to open up your heart chakra and allow that source energy to pour through the back of that heart chakra, flooding through that heart chakra, moving in a clockwise direction, clearing and cleansing and opening up that heart chakra, and then letting it flood out the heart chakra and swirl around your body. With your heart open, I want you to go inside of your heart and ask yourself, what one thing do I want in my life right now? What one thing do I really want in my life right now? Whatever word or whatever phrase you got, when you ask that question, it might make sense, it might not make sense, but I want you to trust what you got. What one thing do I really want in my life right now? Take a deep breath. Let that source energy come and encapsulate whatever you receive, that message. And hold it dear in your heart. And I want you to say, and I'll say it for you, how can I let go of anything that's in the way of going with the flow and allow this into my life now? How can I let go and go with the flow and allow this in my life right now? Take a nice deep breath. And I want you to remember to wonder. Let's use that. I wonder how I can have this in my life right now. I wonder how I can have this in my life right now. Okay, and that's what I want you to do, is just sit with that in your heart every night or every morning whenever you're doing this, and wonder how I can have more of this in my life right now. And follow your guidance, remembering that the universe knows your conditions. And if it's something you're feeling in your heart, it's something that is already there for you. And it's just waiting for you to believe and trust that it is there for you. Take a nice deep breath and blow out. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back. And just that short meditation, I feel so much more open. I feel my heart so strong. I feel very cleansed. I feel the energy moving through me and around me still. And if you want to type in the chat what word or phrase you got for what your heart really wanted to have or experience right now, I'd love for you to share if that's something you want to share. I heard peace, so that's a nice thing. I'd love to know what you guys heard. So I'm just waiting to see if anything comes up on the chat, because I realize there's a little bit of a lag time. So just give me a second, and I'm sure somebody's going to type something. Homer says, I feel clean as a whistle. And Homer said, with all those mouths blowing out of us, I feel like a whistle. And I wanted to laugh in the middle of that meditation. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. So I guess nobody else is going to say. Okay. Ramin says oneness. Homer heard peace as well. And Paulette heard love. Wonderful. I love these. So anyway, I don't want to keep you guys. It's already 9 minutes, no, 14 minutes late, but really isn't, because this is actually the time we started. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry I don't have pyramids to entertain you, but at least I have a good connection, and it's not 4:30 in the morning for me. And great class tonight. Thank you very much for being here. And if you go back to listen to it, just know that like the first 10 minutes, I'm like confused, and you could just scroll through and not watch that, because I think I even swore. I'm just not really happy with this service that I purchased. It wasn't cheap, and they make it very difficult to use. So anyway, that's that. Remember to go in your heart and let go with the flow, and allow into your life what is waiting for you, because it is. And I'll see you guys all in a couple weeks. Actually, I wanted to say that I owe you one webinar. So what I'm going to do is I'll send you an email, and I'm going to have 3 webinars between now and the end of the year. So anyway, December's a long month, so that's okay. So I'm going to change the dates a little bit, and I hope you don't mind, but I wanted to make sure that I get that webinar in. Or maybe I'll keep the 1st and the 3rd, because you guys are used to that, and then I'll just drop in the other one somewhere. I don't know where, but I will let you know soon. Okay, thank you everybody, and thanks for all your patience while I was traveling. Yeah, I go to these countries that don't have good internet, and I try, but sometimes it just isn't going to work. It's going to happen. Anyway, have a great night. Thank you, and I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one. Bye.